Welcome to Seat Time, everybody, the off-road show that brings you all the results, news, and online shenanigans that make being online a good time. We'd like to say thank you to Fly Racing for their support of Seat Time. Please go check them out at flyracing.com. Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. So, episode 94. It's another glorious Tuesday in Texas. It is hot as all kinds of get out. We're starting to finally, I don't know if finally is the right way to put it, but we're starting to hit that 100-degree weather all the time, every day, and it is just getting nasty, muggy, and disgusting. So, of course, Steven and I, like we do every Tuesday, regardless of it being hot or not, we got together. Well, we all know that if we were to come up on hot or not, you would vote hot, because that's how we look. I think that's just the only way you could do it. We're drinking a couple ciders. He's having some Bud Light Lime. We like to talk moto. That's what we're going to do tonight, talk about some off-road, all the fun stuff that's been going on. X Games this past weekend. Enduro X was absolutely insane. All kinds of fun racing there to be had. If you're just tuning in for the first time, so this is Seat Time. We're just an off-road podcast. Like to have a good time, talk about all the fun stuff that's going on. Beer drinking and bench racing, if you want to break it down. You can find us at seattime.co. If you want to look at the website for all the archives, of course, we're on Stitcher, we're on iTunes, YouTube. Search for us as Seat Time, Pintful of Awesome. You're going to find all the archives, and you're going to have a good time watching us. Of course, thank you so much to Fly Racing and to Power Sports Graphics. You can find them at flyracing.com or ridepg.com. Great sponsors, and we thank them very much for their support. So this evening, which would be episode 94, part 2, because we had so many technical difficulties last week, we were not able to have a show. We have Casey Martinez, X Games extraordinaire, Works badass female racer, AMA Racer of the Year from 2010, GNCC Racer this year, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. She's going to come and talk to us about all of this fun stuff, and we just want to know what it takes to be a badass. So, Miss Martinez, how is your evening going in California, kind lady?
It's going pretty good. It's actually really nice weather today. Travis and I actually went out for an evening golf session, so it was pretty fun.
Evening golf? Was this like Top Golf, like kind of a joke, or are you guys like out there like 9 holes and getting serious about it?
No, yeah, we're out there playing a 9-hole. I'm not very good at all. Travis is actually pretty good, and I just go out there with him to keep him company and try to kind of learn the game of golf, but I'm not very good at all.
So if you had to explain to me how... No, I know my handicap when it comes to golf is extremely worse than yours. But if you had to explain your handicap, how would you explain it?
Oh, geez. I mean, sometimes it takes me a couple times to hit the ball, but...
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. You and I would play the same kind of golf, I have a feeling. It's like we're much better kart drivers, unfortunately, than we are golfers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's okay, because I know for a fact that you would be a much more fantastic motorcycle rider than I... Well, you are a very fantastic motorcycle rider, which means you're extremely much better than I am. So... You've had all kinds of fun stuff going on this past year. You've changed it up, moved from California to the East Coast, doing the GNCCs, just got done with X Games. So far, up to this point, August 6, 2013, has there been a pinnacle of the year so far? Like just absolutely amazing day or ride or race or high five, anything?
Geez, I mean, there's been a lot. I'd say this past X Games has definitely been like my... best ride from all the other World X Games. I was really happy how I rode at X Games LA, and I was, obviously hoping to get a podium position and to get a medal, but it didn't work out. And I mean, I was just really happy how I rode. I didn't ride very good at all those other rounds, so to come out with a good ride on that last X Games, I was really happy with. But I would say the round, I believe was it the South Carolina round? I was really happy of how I was riding at the GNCCs, and I'd say that was probably one of my best races thus far.
Yeah, I remember reading the Tuesday Toolbox that you were in. I believe that Jen Kin interviewed you for that, and you were talking about how you guys were getting ready for Kentucky, it being really rocky and stuff. So how did you do there at the Tough Mudder?
For Kentucky, Well, it was, yeah, I couldn't believe like how muddy it was. It wasn't even that muddy like out in the trees, out in the off-road section. The most like horrible part was like out in the grass track section. It was just so muddy. It was like so hard to like stay up on your bike, stand up and get through it all. But I actually couldn't believe how well I was riding that race. I was like, I don't know, like I wasn't expecting to actually, get through it. And I'm happy to even come out on top too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks like you did really well at that Kentucky race, and that's what's interesting is that you did. I think you were able to do 3 laps, which was better than anybody else out there in the women's class. So that's fantastic to get a win, to get a podium at that race. Overall for the year, how do you feel that being 2013, first time since 2007, kind of doing the GNCCs? How's it been going for you, in your opinion?
I think it's been going a lot better. In 2007, I was a good rider, but I didn't know really much coming into GNCCs how it was going to be. So coming into 2013, the GNCC series, I knew more how the race was in 2 hours and, just how it was, the terrain and everything. And I actually came over here before and riding like on the East Coast, so I know like how the races are going to be. In 2007, I was flying back and forth with my dad, and the Mastins were taking my bike to the race, so I wasn't really getting to ride like the same terrain. So I'm happy to be living on North Carolina and being able to actually train to race the GNCCs.
Yeah, it looks like right now you're third in the points, so you got 134 points. Just what is it, about 7 points behind Mandy Mastin and Becca Sheets, who are actually tied at 141. Maria Forsberg, who's done a lot of winning this year, is back a little bit. She's tied with you for points in fourth, but you've just got more finishes than she does. What's it going to take to make another podium and to kind of make that third a first overall and to beat Maria? I mean, it seems like everybody thinks, oh, Maria's the one to beat. I don't think that's totally true. I think you could be up there, and there's obviously other people that could as well. So what's that going to take?
It's going to take a lot of hard work. The last 4 rounds, I mean, I definitely have to be on the podium each round. I know we have 4 throwaways, so that's going to change up the point system a lot because I've missed a couple for the X Games. But, I mean, coming into these next 4 rounds, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be training hard, and it's really going to, I really want to, come out on top every race.
Yeah. So next we've got Unadilla coming up in September. What is that, the second weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the 7th and the 8th. So interesting about that is that Paul Whibley had to have surgery on his man parts. Not really his man parts, but his apparently like a crotch muscle or something. I mean, how interesting do you think it would be to come back from having surgery on muscles in that area?
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know that he had surgery.
I just want to say it's a really good excuse for a penis enlargement. I mean, but maybe that's because I have an excuse and I feel like I should look for a penis enlargement. But I think it's interesting. So you have not had crotch surgery, so that's good.
No.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting. So do you want to do? We've had some interesting discussions about ISDE and some of the riders picked for the teams and stuff this year. Do you have any opinion on that? I mean, you're not on the women's team. I think you would be a great pick to be on that team. One, I guess, do you want to do that? Would you want to do that? And 2, do you have any kind of opinion on how some of the selections went down this year?
No, I don't have an opinion. I actually have been asked the last 2 years now to participate and to be on the women's team. I actually have said no because I just feel like I need to become a better racer, and I want to do good when I go over there. And right now I feel like I lack in a little bit of like toughness. I need to become tougher to get through all 6 days.
Right.
Especially after Travis went over last year in Germany. He told me a lot about it, and he said it was really hard. And so I do want to go to 6 days. I think it'd be a great experience. And I think hopefully just the time will come soon. And I really want to do 6 days eventually.
Well, we've got, obviously, we know at this point you're not going this year to Italy, but so next year is Argentina. 2014 is going to be down there in Argentina. It sounds like it could be a lot like Chile was a couple years ago. How do you think that you would fare? You obviously done really well in work sports, motocross. How do you think you would fare in really open, kind of deserty, sandy terrain?
Yeah, I heard it was supposed to be really sandy, and I really like the sand. I know that, geez, it would probably be really tough going through freaking 5 hours of sand whoops every day for
Yes.
6 days. But I think I would do well at the sand Argentina in 6 days. So maybe when the time comes next year, if I feel like I'm ready, and maybe I'll say, yeah, and I want to go do X Games. Or, sorry, ISD.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a really good time. I think you'd do good at ISDE. Having gone and watched last year, yeah. I mean, I think you mentally need to be in a much more tough place than you do physically. Because everybody says the first 2 days are the hardest until you get to that third day. And then after that, you just can't even believe just what your body's going through. And you just have to look past it and keep going. Kind of like the CrossFit Games, because, I watch that. And that's what they say, too. I'm going to think, because I just go do little WODs, and they do a lot of WODs at one time because they're crazy.
Yeah, those guys are crazy.
Absolutely. Do you guys CrossFit?
No, I've never done CrossFit before.
Man. All right. Next on the list. Okay? Just saying. Try it for me. It's okay. So X Games World. You traveled all over the place this year, racing endurocross, representing the United States, being a badass. What the heck was that like? Was that just not the coolest shit ever?
No, yeah, it was definitely one of the coolest experiences I've got to do is travel the world. That was the first time. Brazil was the first time I've been, and it was crazy. Everywhere was the first time I've been somewhere, and I mean, it was kind of stressful, with the air, on the airplane and stuff, trying to make everything on time and not get, delayed or whatnot. But actually, Brazil was very stressful because me and my mom actually missed one of our flights because one of our flights was delayed, and so we almost didn't make it to Brazil. But that was a whole crazy story. But anyways, we made it to Brazil, and Brazil was actually my best finish for all the world rounds. I ended up 4th. And it actually completely destroyed my bike. It was horrible. My bike's going to be stained forever.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way you want to have to ship your bike back. So how was that for you in that kind of situation? Did you guys have to crate your bikes over there and kind of and put them together yourselves, or did you have a mechanic that really would help you out, or was Travis your mechanic? How did that kind of work out for you?
No, actually, Travis didn't get to travel with me as my mechanic over to X Game World Series because he is racing XC2 and they get no throwaways. So he actually wasn't going to be able to come with me. So I have a friend and a guy who helps out the RPM racing team. Brady was able to come, and he did all the work on my bike over at the World's X Games and got it all ready for me and crated it back up when it needed to be crated, washed it, did everything, my bibs, and so that was really helpful. I thank him a lot, and my mom actually got to go with me everywhere, so we had a really fun time, like checking out, being tourists of all the different cities.
Right. Now that would be a lot of fun. I mean, I think it does have to be stressful the first couple times to really kind of zone in on the fact that you're not flying across the world to be a tourist. You're flying over there to compete, as a professional athlete in this event. But then before you're all nervous, and then after you're like, all right, cool, awesome. And then you go spend a couple days doing all this stuff. Was it just shoot back home after the fact, or did you actually get a couple days in every kind of country to tourist it up a little bit?
Yeah, Brazil, we actually did have to come right back because me and Maria both raced GNCC on that next Sunday. I think we raced in Brazil on Friday. We flew back and then raced the GNCC on Sunday. So that was the one. We didn't really get to do too much tourists, but we did go before the race to those waterfalls that were really, really beautiful, and I was really, really honored to be able to go see those. But otherwise, in Barcelona was probably my favorite city to tour. Me and my mom went early to actually go be able to, be tourists and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had time to, get into race mode and stuff.
Right. Awesome. So was LA X Games, how was the vibe at LA compared to, say, the vibe at some of the other cities? I think as an American, we kind of go, oh yeah, we've got to have created the best vibe. X Games is created here by ESPN. But would you agree with that now that you've kind of been to all 4 of the different world events, or what would your opinion be on that?
I don't know. I say, yeah, but I mean, there was a lot of fans that came to like all those World Series, and they were, I think, pretty really like excited. I don't think they've ever really seen much of like the enduro cross, inside an arena and stuff. So they were pretty like hyper and excited to see us race and stuff. When we came to X Games LA, I mean, they've all seen it before and stuff. They were really happy to come and watch and stuff. But the World Series was, I think, people were really raving about.
Nice. Okay, and I want to know bike setup for a woman in enduro cross or enduro X. If you're racing X Games, I guess they like to change it up. What's maybe the biggest 2 things that just on your bike setup for an enduro cross that has to be a certain way, or that works best for you a certain way?
Well, I run over cliffs in enduro cross, which helps out a lot. So it just gets me over each obstacle, that much better. I don't have to worry about stalling it, and each obstacle, it gets me through the rocks really good. And I'd say lowering my bike, I don't have the longest legs, so I put on a lowered seat, like one of those KTM hard parts lowered seat.
Right.
And
we don't like lower my suspension or anything. I think we do cut subframe a little bit.
Okay.
And then we also, I run a linkage. So I know like Maria's bike, she doesn't have a linkage, but we run a linkage guard by Stillwell. So
yeah.
That helps out a lot too to get me over each obstacle, because before the linkage guard came out, my linkage kept just getting stuck on every log, and that was horrible. So I'm glad they came out with linkage guard that gets you over everything.
That's actually fantastic that you just mentioned that linkage guard by Pro Moto Billet and the guys at Stillwell Performance. We were just testing it this past weekend out at Brian Story's farm, the guy who owns SMS Racing.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I want to know, what do you think about the adjustable chip? Now, on the Pro version, for what she's referring to, it literally is like a little tiny guard for your linkage, so it can slide and not stick on things, because it's so vertical on a KTM and it's very, very pronounced. But what they did is they put these adjustable chips. I call them chips. They call them pucks. Because the head angle and the ride height on those KTMs once they got linkage was a little weird. Mm-hmm. So did you get a chance to really test and play around with which puck position you liked?
Yeah, actually I did get to, I put it in the lowest position, I believe. So it does like squat down in the back a little more. I've noticed that because when I go and ride my enduro cross on a motocross track, I like can't ride it. I'll like it's just hard to get over stuff. And I definitely, before one day last week, I went and rode some moto to train, and we adjusted it. It was really easy. We just adjusted it back up to the normal height, and was perfect to go ride some moto.
Nice. That's fantastic. I'm really glad you mentioned that product, because Steven and I we got to head out there and play around with it a little bit. Really, really impressed. So hopefully we'll have that done, I guess, in the next... Probably that video won't be done for the next 2 or 3 weeks, because Steven, because he's the video guy, is working on a lot of stuff. We're going to be going to Big Sky. Are you going to be heading up to Big Sky?
No, I won't.
What?
I've actually never raced that race. But
What?
I would like
I'm
to go
so
up there.
disappointed, Casey.
I know.
We don't get to hang out at all.
Oh, such a bummer.
I know you were excited. I could tell. You were like, that guy's got to be interesting to see in person.
Yeah, definitely. It's fun to hang out.
No, it's gonna be great. I have as well. I've never been. I'm still not racing, even though I'd be in the old man-ish A class. We'll call it, over 30A ish. And then, but I still think it would be fantastic. We were going through some footage today that the guy from Ignition TV filmed last year. Sent it over to us. We're trying to work on some intros for the videos and stuff. And it looked rocky, steep, and badass. And I was like, I want to ride there. I don't want to race there, but I do want to ride there.
Yeah.
Racing there looks difficult.
Yeah, I definitely heard like the elevation change goes from one extraordinaire to the other, so there's a definitely big elevation change.
So what's the one thing that nobody knows about you? I mean, let's get really serious here.
Jeez, I don't know. I guess maybe I grew up being a professional like competition dancer. I was really into dancing on a competition scene, just like jazz, lyrical, ballet, not too much ballet, tap, and all that stuff. Yeah, I really, really loved dancing, and growing up I had to actually split from it because I had to pick one or the other, so I ended up picking racing dirt bikes.
So you picked racing dirt bikes over being a competitive dancer.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, that's awesome, obviously coming from the perspective of being a rider and a racer and, being a fan of the sport, but that's awesome. I mean, that's crazy. Like, my daughter right now, she rides. 7.
Yeah.
Of course she rides, but pretty sure she would definitely choose dancing and playing with Barbies over riding.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Where did you grow up in North California?
Yeah, Northern California.
Okay.
I grew up in Fremont. Now I'm living in Sonol.
Man, California. I don't know. I've only been there a couple times. Never really had a chance to visit too much. Kirk Caselli, of course, everybody knows. I've got a big bromance with the guy. That's all right. Everybody's got to have somebody. And my guy, he's Kirk Caselli. One time we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, you got to come out, man. Just come and can hang out at the house. We'll go do some fun stuff." And I was like, can you get me a bike and I can chase down your dust? He was like, I mean, if that's what you want to do, we could do it. I was like, yes, I do. Have you had a chance being a KTM rider to ride with Kirk Caselli?
No, he's actually offered for us to come down and stay at his house and ride with him a bunch, but we've never actually had, chance to go down there. We've never made plans really, but we used to ride. Sometimes when we'd go down south, we maybe see him at a motocross track or something, but other than that, no, I haven't really gotten to ride with him.
Huh. Oh, well. Well, I mean, you were about to get some points there.
Yeah. At least I used to, know I'm kind of good from Racing Works and stuff.
Yeah. No, in Racing Works, you've been, 2009 through 2011, the Women's Works Champion, and in there you were the AMA Rider of the Year, the Woman Rider of the Year, or was it Rider of the Year?
Yeah, I was like Female Rider of the Year, 2009.
Man.
Yeah.
So 2013, you're gonna be it again? You're gonna get nominated?
Yeah, I hope so. That would be awesome.
How do we make this happen?
I don't know. I think I'd have to do good in a AMA, sanction thing. Gene's disease is not AMA anymore, so.
Right. See, if you were coming to fucking call Steward, whatever the name is. Yeah. Now we're live. Here. I don't know if you need the name or not. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not mad at Steven. Steven didn't fuck it up. Ustream did. I'm blaming Ustream. Yeah. I might be in a bad place right now. So, for those of you guys who might still be tuning in, this has been Seat Time. We were just done talking with Casey Martinez. Right now, we're going to get Steward Baylor on the line. Obviously, a lot of technical difficulties with this kind of stuff. I cannot apologize enough. The people that we do have to thank is obviously you guys for turning in, for listening to the show. Fly Racing. If you guys noticed when you watched the title intro, Fly Racing, a huge supporter of not just Seat Time, but of the off-road scene in general, out there supporting not just racers and riders, but series as well, to make sure that they're supported and that they have money to help put these races on for racers and riders like yourself that are in listening right now. So best thing you can do to say thank you to those guys is go check out flyracing.com. Look at all the new 2014 gear they have out, and then go to your to your local internet, whoever you want to go buy gear from, that you could purchase some Fly Racing gear, or your local store and go grab some Fly Racing gear there. Of course, we cannot thank them enough for their support of Seat Time. Another great sponsor is Powersport Graphics over in North Carolina. RidePG.com is where you can find out more about them online. What's so fantastic about these guys is that they have a discount code for Seat Time listeners. So if you want to go to their website, purchase anything you want to purchase, you can get 10% off using the discount code Seat Time. Of course, beyond that, you can save 40% if you use the ready-to-ship option. So you're looking at this really badass kit. You're like, it's a lot of money trying to put all these logos on it. It's so expensive. Hit the ready-to-ship option. It's going to lose some of the custom ability to it. But you're going to save 40%. You order it before 11 a.m. Pacific time or Eastern time, and you get it the same day. Well, you could get it the same day. I mean, those are, fantastic options. Good times for everybody. We cannot thank them enough. And Jared Bolton is working there now, kind of part-time helping out over there. They've even made him some little cool little anime characters, if you will, some little stickers. So if you hit him up, I'm pretty sure that he will knock you some of those in the mail. Best way to make sure that good times are had and that you can get all kinds of stuff there. Of course, we've had if we don't just do all this kind of stuff, we don't do it for money. This is a hobby. We cannot thank these guys enough for helping us support the awesome of Seat Time and trying to talk to some of these racers and really get some more information out there about the off-road scene and what's been going on. It's fantastic stuff. We have been talking to Beer Optics. Those of you that know Seat Time and that have been around for a while, that we enjoy a pint full of awesome. Pint full of awesome to us, of course, since the fact that we're over 21 and we're legally able to drink and we will not be driving, is we have a pint full of awesome. That's our awesome right there. Beer Optics, obviously, you can't really get there. What's going to happen? I don't know. What does she look like through Beer Optics? Much better. Yeah. I've been talking to them, and I think I might be wearing a pair of those at the show next week. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I guess we're kind of talking about different things as Steven getting Steward Baylor on. I got to watch X Games this past weekend. If you guys didn't watch that, the Enduro X was awesome. The racing was fantastic. Tadej Bezuziak got a win this year. I think he's really been struggling. I don't know what it is. I mean, he's been on top. He's done a really good job of racing, but he just hasn't been at the top of the podium as consistently as he has been in the past. Now, it could be that Tadej Bezuziak is slacking. He could have an injury. He could have a mental whatever breakdown. Or now that the sport has been around for so long and that more people are getting into it and really having, they're really pushing each other, they're having this chance to get better. And I think that that's more what it is than we're going to see that Tadej Bezuziak is slacking and all that kinds of stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, Steward?
I do not have a clue what you're talking about.
I'm talking about X Games, baby, because, we're just pushing buttons over here trying to see how much we could screw up.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that's just the truth of it, We would love to say that it was completely our fault, but it's not. But, of course, why not? Let's blame us anyway. Who cares? All right.
Well, that's what I'm going with. The reason that I didn't go on at 9 o'clock was these Yamaha guys. I'm hanging out with these Yamaha people, and they're just behind schedule all the time. It's just always something with these guys.
So you're saying that they're more lax than you are?
Yeah, they're just chill, okay, forgot the keys, whatever it might be, can't get in the shop where the internet is and the computer. That's just okay.
Hey, you could have followed suit with many of other people and gone to Starbucks and stolen their Wi-Fi. That's strangely enough, that's kind of how it's been happening lately for Seat Time guests.
Well, the problem is I didn't have my computer in the truck, so I've been on the road for like a week. I pretty much live on the road, so that was kind of out of the question.
Yeah, it's understandable. I wouldn't, and you probably have a very particular computer. You've probably got stains in some places that really keep your fingers locked in a certain area. I mean, you only got one wrist that works right now, and that's probably that wrist is probably overworked.
And I can't. The problem with my computer is I can't use computers anyway, and it's a MacBook, and they're like way over my head. So I like the simple ones. Like my cell phone is perfect. You get into computers, and it's like it passes me up real quick. My brain's only so big. I've hit so many trees.
Hey man, it's understandable. You go extremely fast, and when you go extremely fast, you hit the ground extremely hard.
Well, sometimes you got to go fast, and apparently I cheat a lot. That's what I've been hearing. That's the word on the street. So
is it?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing since I've been off the bike. That and I just started living up to it. I'm like, yeah, starting on row 36 got me that championship. I could see those lines that you guys couldn't see. You boys were up there on 21 dodging trees. I had open trail back there, so you just gotta live up to it every once in a while. If they're gonna talk, you might as well go for it.
Yeah, that is pretty crappy. But I think it's one of those deals where you're like. So like sometimes Ryan Dungey. Well, Ryan Dungey won his championship because Ryan Villapoto wasn't racing. Sure. Okay. You're right. Nobody else was out there possibly beating him or competing against him or on a dirt bike at all. It was just him. Ryan Villapoto didn't show up. So everybody's kind of got their little stick that they're going to stick to and figure out how to down talk people that they don't want to be the ones on top. So I think you're awesome. You're fast as shit. You're way faster than I am. And then, bam, there you are. You're awesome in my book. So everybody else could suck it, right?
Well, that's what I'm going with. The thing I grew up hanging out with Jason Raines. He was my trainer when I was 12 years old. And we had some guys saying that I was running a built motor in my bikes and that I was too old for the class and all this stuff. I was actually too young for the class, and I was running a stock motor. But we came back to Jason. We were telling him all this stuff, and he's like, you know what? Use it for motivation. He said, if they're not talking, you're doing something wrong. He said, the only time you should be worried is when the talk stops.
Bam.
So that's
Dig
what I'm
it.
going with.
I like it. No, and Jason Raines is down to earth, and he's always got his head in the game. He's really smart about that kind of stuff. I think it's good advice. There you go. Keep him talking and keep going fast, and I think you'll be all right. But obviously, we've talked in the past. We've had you on the show a couple times, and we've talked about all the stuff that's been going on, and that's kind of what we like to do, kind of keep it relevant and at the same time talk about some of the stuff that's been going on. But you've been off the bike for 16 months now. You made a very abrupt post, and a lot of people, I think, have been wondering. You kind of announced that you were going to be racing at Big Sky, announced that you were going to be on the ISDE junior team racing, and then, of course, now you've got to go have surgery. You've got to have a bone removed, all kinds of stuff. So if you could, try to walk us through a little bit of what the shoes that you've been living in for the past 16 months and how they've led up to, today and the post that you made on Facebook.
All right. Well, I got people calling me.
Just be like, I'm on seat time. Shut up.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I totally forgot about my entrance. Hold on. I got a horrible entrance coming on there. It's just like, hey, what's up? This is what we need. What just happened? Dang it, I'm getting called again. What? Can you hear it? You want to turn around?
Oh, yeah.
Dramatic. Bam, there I am.
Steward Baylor Jr., folks! Woo! Yeah.
A little bit of Van Halen going on in the background.
Not Van Hagar, Van Halen. Yes.
Huh?
That was way better. I think I'm gonna have to outdo you next week.
I've got to throw away this phone. I keep getting blown up. I'm just turning it off.
Maybe you should stop having more friends than me.
Yeah, I know, that's the problem.
It's probably pretty easy,
right.
Unfortunately.
All right, so back to the wrist. Last year, what was it, April, May, I broke my wrist. Indiana GNCC. I went out, and it was one of the few races where XC2 actually came stronger in the end. Normally when the XC2 guys are leading the overall toward the beginning of the race, we were physically, it was Andrew DeLong and myself, 42 seconds out of the overall lead. So we had a 18-second cushion on first overall, and we were coming from the XC2 class, and we came from over a minute down, I think it was, or a minute down. I don't know that it ever said that we were overalling as we came through the scoring, but the last lap we went out battling, got a pit board that said, 18-second overall, and I was pushing to the end, and the wreath went out of my bike, something stupid, and then I'm just trail riding back. I'm riding with Sam Evans, one of our good friends that races in the A class. Just trail riding. I mean, nothing special. Not trying to set the woods on fire. Not trying to make up for the lost ground. I was just trail riding, and he was right behind me, and he said I just wadded it. So I broke my wrist. I finished the race. The next day, I tried mountain biking with Caleb Russell. I went home with him, and my wrist just wouldn't let me do it. The day after, I tried riding, and I could ride, and it didn't hurt, too terribly bad, but I knew something was wrong. So went to the doctor, and they said, if you can move it, it's not broken. So got an X-ray anyway, and he said, yeah, it's bad. It's the slowest growing bone in your body. Called Dr. Maresca, who was one of our sponsors last year with St. Lawrence Radiology, big help to the program, and he got us hooked up with a doctor in New York. Got in for a quick surgery. One of those things where you're in and out. It's something that was good for the time being, and if I would have actually taken the time off, it probably would have worked, but I didn't. I wasn't up for taking the time off. 2 championship battles, XC2 and the GNCCs, and I was winning the national enduros, and I had to stick with it. So I raced with a broken wrist, and then at the end of the year, I had a broken collarbone by that time, and I had to get that plated. I've actually got a really nice one from that. You can see the plate, 7 screws there. And then second surgery on the wrist. February, it wasn't healed. It just stopped healing randomly. And got another surgery this February. And last week I went back. I guess that was 5 months, right around the 5-month mark. And he said, 3 of the fractures have totally healed. You can't even tell that they were there. This fracture is, it's not healing. So he said, we've got a few options. You can do the PRC, which is what Shane Watts had. They take away the proximal row, which is 3 bones in your wrist at the base where it joins in with the radius or whatever that bone is that comes in. Or you can try to take out just the navicular, which is the bone that I broke.
Right.
And I believe that's the same surgery that Villapoto had. But I've talked to a few doctors. They're kind of concerned about how long it's going to last. 1 year, 6 years. It's apparently lasted 3 with Villapoto, I believe, by now. But they're racing a totally different style. 40 minutes versus 3 hours, and I don't know that they quite get the seat time that we do. I know I might. It may not last as long as it will with the motocrosser, and also their careers are a little bit shorter. So hoping that it doesn't affect my career by any means, but we do have a backup. We can still take out the 3 bones behind it if this doesn't work. But the bone went avascular, which means that it's not growing. So it's just the only option for now. And they wanted to keep the bone in, and that's what we tried, over the past 16 months. But it just wasn't working. So now we're down to this kind of last resort thing. It's salvage surgery. So I'm definitely gonna have pain in it. I've already got arthritis in it from racing last year with it broken. And last year while I was racing, the one of the screws actually backed out and went into the joint. So caused a lot more pain, did damage, created the arthritis. So I'm definitely going to be dealing with the pain. It's going to be tough to come back from, but the good news is I will be back on the bike 3 weeks from now. So I'll start trail riding. Nothing special. I'm going to talk to the team manager, and hopefully he'll let me ride the morning race at Unadilla or something. Just get back out, get some seat time, see what a GNCC feels like again. It's been a while, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll be back in the XC1 class in GNCCs and showing up at the last couple national enduros. And not gonna say I'm gonna do anything special, no great results, but definitely just gonna get back out there and get back at it, and hopefully soon it'll be I'll be back to where I was maybe by next year.
Yeah. So at this point, what it sounds like then is you guys are planning to remove the navicular, which is one that went avascular, which essentially means it's just dead at this point. Is that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
Backside of the bone.
oh, that's pretty crazy. And what's funny is right when you broke your navicular, I had a buddy of mine who was in a cast, like just total a cast above the elbow, and he broke it. I would like to say playing drunk basketball. Because he was drunk and they decided to play basketball, and he got totally taken out by a dude that's a hockey player, like semi-professional hockey player. You don't like try to guard that guy. You know, it's just like bam, got knocked over, put his hand down, and that's what the doctor warned him. Is like they said you have to be in this cast because you can't move this bone. He's like if you move this wrist, he's like it could die because it gets the least amount of blood flow in the entire body or something crazy like that. I know you've probably heard all the stories and talked to the doctors about that kind of stuff the whole time. So it sounds like now, where do you think that you riding so early is what maybe caused this longevity of a problem, or was it just bad findings from the beginning that didn't bring you to like full awareness of how bad the problem was before you started riding on it?
Well, I guess it's kind of a mix of everything. We knew that it was a bad bone to break. We didn't know just how bad it was. As we kept going, we kept getting more warnings. This is the navicular. It's not your arm. This is everybody's saying this is the scaphoid. This is the navicular. This isn't something that you play with. But I had 2 championships on my mind, and last year I wasn't a factory rider, and I was after it, and I knew what I had to do. So I wasn't able to clinch both championships. My dream kind of got with a broken collarbone. But it was that made things a lot more difficult, especially when it started trying to come out of the skin while I was racing on it. So that definitely hurt. So it was funny. I would be going through the woods, breaking bumps would kill my collarbone. Like I could just feel it popping up, and eventually I felt it like snap down, and it felt better after that. But
yeah.
On the motocross part of Loretta's, like the jumps and stuff were killing my wrist, so I didn't get a break all day. But I knew what I had to do, and I knew the risk, and I knew either way you look at it, there's no regrets on my side. Had a broken navicular in my foot also. I broke that going into the season. Didn't know about it. Got it checked out this summer or no, this past winter, and that was broken through the year. So it's kind of funny. I had a broken navicular in my foot and my wrist, but those 2 bones and the collarbone, it's definitely a difficult year, but no matter what, I'm not going to look back at it with any regrets. It was 100% worth it, and I've got a great deal with a great team as far as everything goes, and they've backed me so far. And talked to Auntie about the surgery, and he's going to continue to back me. I'm not going to be able to ride for 6 days, but it's still great that I've got a team that's going to support me, and hopefully this risk for 6 days.
Yeah. So when you signed your deal as a factory rider with KTM last year, was that a 3-year deal that you signed?
It is 2. If I finish top 5 in either series, I believe I get the 3rd year. So I hope to say pretty much it's a 3-year deal. Right.
Yeah. So if everything by the end of this year goes good, and then you do top 5 next year, you will then still have the option of being that 3rd year onto your contract. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of questions that people were asking us, and coming up to us on this was just like, was it worth it? All this kinds of stuff. And I think you answered it. In your own mind, you kind of have to know that you made a decision at some point to race and ride in the way you did. And you said it. Yeah, it's totally worth it because you got what you wanted out of it. You didn't get both of the things you wanted out of it, but you got the National Enduro Championship. And then maybe because of that, you kind of got, officially got that deal with KTM, which I think is fantastic. And moving forward, your brother's going to have a chance to maybe even, be there with you. I think that could be a really cool team for you guys. So,
yeah.
How do you kind of, man, it's a weird question, but how do you plan to come back and get back to the Steward Baylor speed and the guy that we know and love and love to watch ride, because you could tell that it's 110%. The throttle is literally almost broken because you're holding it open so much. Is there a plan there, or is it just get back on the bike and ride and see how it progresses?
I've definitely got a good idea on what I'm gonna do. this year I don't expect to, like I said, I don't expect to set the world on fire. It's not gonna be any stellar performances that I see. It's gonna be 2 months, to where I can get 50% of my range of motion back, which is probably all I'll ever get, and
Right.
maybe 50 to 70% of my strength. It'll definitely be difficult, and it's going to take 2 months of that. But just ride, get back in bike shape. I can still outwork Grant in the gym, so I know I know I'm in good enough shape. He's apparently in good enough shape to win the GNCCs and finish top 5 overall, and normally has a fairly good last lap time. So he's in decent shape. So I know, even though everybody thinks that we're out of shape and we're fat and this and that, but I'll tell you right now, whoever wants to talk the crap, all the little motocrossers and all the guys, all the punks that want to say stuff, come down to the gym with us, come down and do what we do for one day, and then you can say what you want to say. But we're in good shape. I've stayed fairly fit through this whole thing. Actually plan on going on a road bike ride with Paul Whibley in the morning, and he's an animal, so I doubt I'll be able to keep up with him. But
Right.
But I think being in shape and being in bike shape are two totally different things. I think I'm in shape for what I need to do, but whenever it comes to getting back on the bike, it works a whole different set of muscles. And then piecing it together for 3 hours, it's going to take some changing. My riding style is going to have to change a little bit to suit this wrist. I'm definitely going to be doing the chicken wing. You'll see some pictures of me probably. Like, you'll be like, oh, man, he's gooned out, a leg off the back and an elbow drop down like that. Like, that's how I'm going to be riding from here on out. But, it's going to take some changes, but I think I'll be able to adapt to it. Still got age on my side, so, it's just going to be difficult coming back and not being on top. I've been used since I was 8 years old. I was always on top, and it's going to be difficult coming back from that and not really being there. But hopefully by next year I'll get a win, up in the XC1 class, or at least another national enduro win. And until then, my hair is going to grow, so I may come back looking like Jesus or something. But
Or you could come back and do that bitching ass mullet that Caleb Russell did.
I don't know about all that.
Come on. If there's anybody who could pull off white trash more than Caleb Russell, it's you.
I don't think I could rock the mullet that hard. He rocked it. Like, he represented the mullet. Like,
yeah.
Anybody that enjoys mullet has to enjoy that. There's no doubt about it.
It was one of the most sexiest things I've ever seen. It was, in a very non-sexual way, it was damn sexy.
All right, how about this? How about I'll get a, let's see. We got to think of something good. Maybe, I can't grow a beard, so that won't work.
It comes in all white trashy like?
Yeah, it comes in. I've got this, like Joe Dirt.
You got it.
It won't grow right there, so like it'll grow all around that one spot. So it looks kind of funny. I look odd, out of place. So not going for that. But maybe just like shave the top of my head off and just leave like the sides there.
So like you're like a balding older man.
Yeah, exactly. Except bring it all the way back.
Oh.
And maybe have a cool design in it. Never know. I mean, we could really get creative with this.
We could.
I mean, if I can win, how about this? If I win by the end of this year, we're definitely going with that one.
Okay.
National Enduro or GNCC.
Oh, I love it. I'm in.
If I get lucky or cut the track like they say I apparently do, that's going to be it. As long as I win, taking that thing straight back. So I'll even do an interview that'll only take 30 seconds, and I'll just rub it for everybody. I may even put oil on it, something special. Never know.
I think you're going to have to put oil on it because that's just what I want.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody else wants. I want the oil.
And the only thing I'll be worried about is how my helmet's going to fit. Like, it's going to kind of be tight here, loose here. I've had enough concussions, it doesn't matter anyway.
You know what? If when it comes down to it and you've won a race after everything you've been through and that is your biggest concern, I think that's a concern worth having, like at that point. Like you're like, okay, oh, my helmet fits awkward. Oh, like that's an okay problem to have.
Yeah, I guess that'll be all right.
Yeah.
there's only a few things I'm worried about right now, and that's the wrist and the collarbone. I got to worry about putting a chest protector back over this thing. It feels funny. I don't
Does
know
it
about
does it stick out a little bit more than what you've, I guess, grown accustomed to, or and you wear a neck brace as well, or is that just your brother?
Yeah, I wear a neck brace and a chest protector, and I put them on a couple weeks ago. Just had some.
Is that all you wore? You just had on your chest protector and neck brace? That was it?
Yeah, you know, you get to where you start missing the dirt bike, and you run around with your helmet on and your gear on, and you start stomping around and making motorcycle noises. Like I did some 4-stroke noises, but I'm a 2-stroke man, so I was doing a lot of 2-stroke noises, just wearing my Liat stuff. We got a new shipment in, and I like to break it in before Grant gets into it. You know, just
before he dirties it all up with his little pudgy fingers.
Yeah. I just had to feel it and throw that stuff on and make some motorcycle noises. So.
All right. Well, then in that case, since you've got practice, what's your best 2-stroke noise, and then what's your best 4-stroke noise?
We can't do this online. I think it might scare some people.
I really think that this is the only place we should do it.
All right. Let's see. I haven't practiced in a while.
That's all right.
You know, normally while I'm riding, I'll be like thinking about jumps, and I'll be like, you know, just thinking about it, and then the 4-stroke, of course, the best thing is for the whoops because you can like vibrate your tongue. It's like like on MX versus ATV Live. You know, always.
I think we got the sound bites we need. That's it. That was fantastic. I love it.
Like that.
I'm glad that
Like
you
that.
played along.
Just making sure.
Oh yeah.
But I can't get the 2-stroke noise that my bike makes. I don't know what it is about my bike. I guess it's just the factory built motors, but that and the FMF pipes, like it sounds so good. Like it's so clean. It's got this awesome ring to it. We put the shorty on there so people can hear me. If you ever hear the enduro videos, like you hear everybody else like they're brrr, and then you hear me like yeah, and I don't shift. I don't like shifting. Not for that. Like first gear is where I want to be. As long as you can hear me, that's where I want to be. So that's the noise that I would love to make, but I just can't make that. It's so clean, and I just can't do it.
You might hurt. Yeah, you'd probably hurt your uvula, that little dangly thing, if you tried to do all that. Here's a good question I just thought of. Which of the FMF pipes do you guys run? Is it the gnarly, the fatty, or you kind of just run like a stock FMF? Like obviously FMF, but is it like they're more stock fit? Which one?
I run a shorty fatty in the National Enduros, and in the GNCCs I run either the fatty shorty combo or an SST with a shorty. I think they may have stopped making the SST. Not totally sure about that one, but I just like it's a little bit smoother reacting. You can change. Oh, we got a mechanic in the room. He said they still got them, so
hey,
I guess they still got them. But that's what I'm used to running. But it just gives a little bit more top speed, a little less hit off the bottom for the GNCC. So
nice.
Just a smooth pulling pipe. And then Grant, I think, runs the fatty shorty everywhere. He likes that low end hit, but he short shifts. He rides a gear higher than I would anyway. So it's just all about preference whenever it comes down to it. I've pretty much stuck with the same thing, shorty fatty and the SST fatty or SST shorty. And that's just kind of what I'm used to. So actually, hold on. I'm sorry. In the National Enduros, we run a turbine core because they have you
got to have the spark arrestor, right?
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, come on. I mean, I totally understand. You don't know if it's private land, if it's public land, if it's government owned land. Like, yeah. I mean, none of that's like, and you need to have a general rule. And since there's government owned land where you have to have spark arresters and sound and all that jazz, you just do it everywhere. That's what it is. It's not slowing you down any, you son of a bitch. It's definitely not slowing me down any. It's like everybody wants to say it's lack of power because it doesn't breathe as good or doesn't whatever. But it's enduro racing. It's cool. We got 5 guys in a row. 4 of them are faster than me, so it's whatever.
Well, it doesn't sound as good as the thing that I like. I like hearing my bike, and I like to make it sound loud. So you
need to put like little you need to drill little holes in the side of your helmet. So like beep, right towards your ear.
Here.
Yeah, bam. You'll hear it a
Gosh.
lot better.
Yeah, until
That's like science.
I'm not big on science. Not big on too much, except riding dirt bikes. So
Okay, so here's
don't get too far over my head.
here's a dirt bike question for you then that somebody was asking. Is Don, I'm going to say his last name wrong because I'm probably going to, Matheny? Don Matheny's from the Northeast, from like Oregon. He was, what is it? Where do you set your power valve?
Where do I set it?
I don't know. Is your mechanic still in the room? Because he might know.
Well, this isn't my mechanic. It's actually Paul Whibley's mechanic. And
Then I have a question for him after you answer this question.
I'm going to be honest. I run a pink power valve, a super fast one. Now, I do not know where I set my power valve. I know that I run the red spring or whatever the stiff spring is to make the bike rip. I don't know where it opens up at. You'd have to ask one of those smart guys on dirt bikes.
You're like, it opens up in a really dirty spot that I like
Yeah.
being at. So the question then that I have that obviously you can just ask to Paul Whibley's mechanic is, how did the penis enlargement surgery go?
How did the penis enlargement surgery go?
Going good. Really well. Walking a little bow-legged because he's not used to the extra package he's got down there, but he's happy.
Nice. Finally, a real answer. I just
He actually hopped on the stand-up jet ski earlier, and he got off. He said, find me one on Craigslist. We'll go look at it tomorrow. I have to clear it with the boss first. You think
Yeah.
Randy will be upset? He said that's not the boss. Catherine is. So he's taking it up with his wife right now and figuring out if he can drop some cash on a stand-up jet ski.
That's pretty awesome. I've tried to ride one and I've screwed it up multiple times.
Yeah, well, they get really sketchy. I don't know if you saw my Instagram video earlier, but it's way zoomed out. But it was like this really sketchy high side. Like I was setting up for a turn, and I was kicking the back end out, and it like kept going and kept going and kept going, and then it just put me out. And they're kind of sketchy, but the good thing is it's always water, so you don't have to worry too much when you hit.
Yeah,
But
I think they're kind of fun. I loved it. It was awesome. I want one. My wife would never let me get one, but
Well, today mine got parked in the side of a bank, so I figured out the durability. They're pretty tough. I saw it ghost road into a bank twice yesterday, and today I thought I was going to jump over the bank and like go into the field, but luckily it stopped just before it got to that point. As the rider bailed off and like drug it down with him and just slammed into the bank and didn't quite jump out of it. But I was thinking it was going to be a pretty sweet jump, like just ramp it straight into the field. But he didn't follow through with it. Just didn't have the guts. So.
that's funny. That reminds me of some like super action-packed movie from like the late 90s where they jump jet skis over some like island or something. Now, obviously, we're talking like a sliver. We're not talking like miles long because that would be ridiculous. That wouldn't happen. But
Was it an Impossible movie?
ooh, it might have been. Was it like
Yeah.
the first one?
Would it be the first one? He said he thinks it's the first one.
Yeah, and that would
Like-
that.
Mr. Trivia over here, he's got it dialed.
So if I go to the bar with anybody to have a drink, it's gonna be that guy, so he can win us free drinks at the little machines.
Probably.
Yeah, you wouldn't know about anything like that because you're not old enough.
Yeah, I'm just baby, and that's why I don't know about this Mission Impossible movie. It's back in the 90s. Dude, that was before my time. Come on now.
You're like, I didn't even know where puberty was in the 90s. Shit.
That's like asking me like about Die Hard movies. That's or the first Die Hard movie or Lethal Weapon, like taking it way back.
Well, have you seen those? You need to have seen those at least to like appreciate action movies today.
Let's be honest. I've seen those. I've seen every one of those. I even saw Top Gun. I watch movies every night. I've even got one in my pocket right now. Actually, as soon as I hang up with you, we're gonna drop this one in if I can get it out. What movie did we get?
I don't remember.
Huh? Oh, G.I. Joe, the new G.I. Joe.
It's actually fair. It's decent. It's
You know,
decent.
I really like Jack Reacher. That was a pretty good movie.
That was a really good movie.
the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, the Last Stand, that was a good one. I like him. He makes me want to be strong and be manly, but just can't live up to that.
Yeah, right now you're such a feminine little girl that it's just ridiculous.
That's what I'm going with. My sister's arms are bigger than mine. Look at this. This is like sad. Like they're like really small. Like,
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks exactly like my arm.
Right now, and they're just tiny. Like I'm pretty sure they're small as like Corey's, and he's a skinny little guy. His are bigger than mine. I mean,
I blame the cast.
that's what I'm going with. It's only been 16 months since I broke it, and like 10 months straight in the cast. So this is apparently what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess.
Your left arm gets extremely big, and your forearm on the left arm gets extremely huge, and the right arm is unused. That's just
Actually, my forearm on the left, and it's still small. Like I was expecting to look like Popeye after a few weeks, but it didn't happen. So
yeah, it's because you don't have the clutch anymore. You're not like just sitting there like.
The problem is I wasn't eating my spinach.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
I got on that one.
I want to know about your experience as an announcer with the GNCCs, because you have been stuck in a trailer with Rodney and Jeremy Saylor and Jen Kenyon and all those guys yapping your brain off and doing a fantastic job, by the way. I really enjoy listening to all the live webcast. So I want to know how that experience has been going for you. Have you been enjoying that? Is it something that you think that you want to do more of?
Definitely not something that I want to do more of. I enjoy being out on the track or doing something, that's part of the race. If I was watching, I would definitely prefer to be in a mud hole or watching drunk guys fall down at snowshoe. But it's fun. It's neat. It's something I haven't done. Definitely helped out with my talking. I think I was always pretty good with public speaking, but it's definitely helped me out. And Rodney definitely keeps the ball rolling, makes things easy. It's just really difficult when you're in the trailer. If you notice, a lot of shots change, and it's right as the pros are coming around. Just stupid little things, just kind of working the bugs out. But as the season's going on, the live feed's definitely gotten better. Just something we're gonna have to work on. I think I may be part of the show for Unadilla, and that might be the last time that anybody will see me on the GNCC Live unless I re-injure myself, but I hope that won't happen. Thinking about starting to ride in like a solid brace, like a robot or something. That way nothing else happens anymore. But
Yeah.
There's definitely no guarantee on that.
I completely agree. Well, as I was saying, I just wanted to ask and kind of get your opinion on it. I think you've been doing a really good job. It's fun because you and Rodney have different personalities. You look at things a little bit differently. You're obviously a super fast racer now. He's been he was faster in his day on the quads and stuff like that. So it's been I've enjoyed it. You're doing a good job. So if you get stuck in the trailer, just give me some shout outs because I'm listening.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely give some shout outs. You'll just have to text me and remind me, because you got to remember, concussions make people slow, and if you haven't been able to tell, I'm pretty slow, so just text me, remind me, because I'll definitely forget. It's hard to remember what I eat for breakfast sometimes. I think I had eggs this morning, but that's not certain. I definitely forgot what I had last night, but just give me a text and I'll definitely give you a shout out.
Oh, you got it. All right. So last bit of news, but I want to talk about. I know that you guys want to go watch your little G.I. Joe movie together, snuggle up on the couch, and have a little man.
Of course.
Manness time.
A little bit of rubbing. Whatever we got to do.
Hey, you put that cast wherever you want, man. I'm not judging anybody here. So 6 days. You're out on 6 days, so that means there's a spot open on the junior team. If you had a couple riders to pick that you think would be really good fill-ins for that spot, who would you kind of give the nod towards?
Well, the spot is full, and I would definitely say there's some guys that are worthy of the spot. there's definitely Ian Blythe from Colorado. He lived over in Italy. Great rider, wants to do the 6 days, interested in it. There's also Shane Hufford. He's of age. Great rider. I guess Caleb Russell. This will be the last year that he could be a part of the team, and also since he rides for KTM and Auntie is the manager of that and 6 days, that would be a good option. And I don't really know any of the guys on the West Coast, but I can tell you one thing: one of the 3 names that I just listed is going to 6 days for my replacement. I haven't seen it released yet, so I'm not sure if I can tell you exactly, but definitely dropping some hints. If you pay attention, maybe you'll figure it out. But it'll definitely be up soon. I'm sure KTM will post it and tell or Auntie will post it for the 6 days and tell everybody who's going instead of me. So I think within this week that'll be in. I know they're sending their bikes out this week to get out there. Seen pictures all week. It makes me miss it and hope I was going. But I think the replacement that we have is definitely going to be great for America over there. I think that they're definitely gonna have a killer team. I know for the trophy team, you got Duvall and Osborne, Caselli, Taylor Roberts, all those guys, Charlie Mullins, everyone that's part of it is super strong riders. And now with the junior team, I think Andrew DeLong, Grant, and Jesse Graham are all going to be great over there. And the guy that's going to fill in for me is definitely going to have a good ride over there. I think he enjoys riding in the fast stuff. So
yeah,
definitely going to be a good team, both trophy and junior.
Dig it. Well, I know where I would put my money of those 3 people. And we could all speculate and we could all go over the places. KTM obviously will. I just hope that whoever it is, that they go over there and they represent America well and they have a ton of fun. I think that the whole purpose, and you can tell this with the Wellard team, the kind of sponsored club team, that they're really starting to put in a lot more effort into 6 days, and they are showing the fact that they want to get that win. Not just because of the fact that they're putting together a fantastic trophy team, they're putting together a fantastic junior trophy team to try to get guys like yourself, your brother, Jesse Grome, and other riders that are coming up primed, prepped, and ready to be on the trophy team. And the same thing with the guys that are on this sponsored Wellard club team. That way they're really good replacement riders, or in the future they could be extremely good trophy team riders. So are you going to be able to go over to Italy and partake in watching stuff like that with your brother, or is it just going to be your dad this year again?
It'll probably just be my dad this year. I think I'm gonna sit this one out. I haven't been racing, so the money hasn't been coming in like I was used to. So I don't really have the money to drop to go over to Italy and play for a couple weeks.
I always go drop my clothes off at a couple strip clubs and pick up some ones every couple weekends when the money gets a little tight. And
hey, who says I haven't done that? But
yeah.
That's going towards keeping my jet ski running. So I'm trying to find something better. Like that was definitely good. But I'm thinking about an escort service. Whatever else you can think of.
Well, for some reason you can go strip legally, but you can't be a prostitute or an escort. Well, you could be an escort. You just can't be a prostitute.
Yeah.
You just got to show them your cast, but not let them touch it.
Exactly. I don't get it. It's just it blows my mind. But yeah, you got to do.
That's a whole nother podcast that I run. That'll be live on Thursday night, and we could talk about that one then.
That's on a different seat. That's on a different seat that you're sitting on, right?
If you will. Yeah, your time is much more lively spent than just.
Yeah, I could imagine.
If you will. Well, dude, good luck. When is your actual surgery that you're having of the bone removal?
Thursday. So I'm spending tomorrow riding my jet ski. I think it's going to be raining all day, but I'm going to have fun. And then I might go bow fishing or something. And I'll pretty much get to play all day and then go into surgery. and hopefully they don't take me out for as long as last time because I was miserable after being out for 6 hours, and I puked, and my arm was asleep. They did this nerve block, and I kept hitting myself in the head while I was sleeping. Woke up pissed off, ready to fight someone, and I'm hoping they don't do that one this time because that really made me mad. You ever had a hard cast, just whop you in the side of the head, and you're like, you wake up and you're ready to fight. I'm hoping they don't do the nerve block this time, but hopefully I'll be back soon, and at least trail riding. I think the first race I'll do is probably the Little Brown Jug Enduro. It's right down the road, and I think Paul Whibley will actually also be a part of that one. It'll be his first race back. He'll be getting on the bike the week before that, and it'll be the race of the cripples. That's what Corey
right. Love it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We got penis extension and cast giverer.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. He's gonna be walking bow-legged, and I won't be able to push the throttle. So, whatever you got to do. But
you could just zip tie it open and just use the clutch.
I've got a quick turn throttle, and that's definitely gonna be needed. I've got I got hooked up with All Sport Dynamics, who makes custom wrist braces.
That's the one. That's the one Justin Barsha and like Baggett and them run, right?
Yeah. And I'm gonna have that girl locked out, and I'm full chicken wing, and that's how it's gonna be from here on out. That's the plan.
Dig it. That is totally elbow to the ground. Like just, there's no WFO. There's just elbow literally dragging the ground.
I've got a great picture from Loretta's last year because like my shoulder was dropped because the collarbone, and then my elbow was dropped, and I was like completely down. I mean, you could see the elbow, like my elbow was past the bottom of the handlebar, and I was like, that is it, money shot right there. Great picture. And actually my brother was ahead of me right there, so I was kind of upset, so I twisted the throttle all the way back and tried catching back up with him. So I just hope that he's not beating me whenever I come back. Luckily, he's got a girlfriend to slow him down right now, so maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll work for me and against him whenever I'm back on the bike.
Yeah, we can always see. You never know what the expectations of a win are, though. When you have a girlfriend, she could be like, "Oh, good job," and they could, whatever. We could get weird. Again, that's Thursday night show. Tune back in later then. I do have to ask. The new Fly Racing gear, do you have an opinion on all the badassery that they've been putting out for all the 2014 gear? Have you had a chance to see any of that stuff?
I haven't seen it. I'm actually riding for Thor this year with KTM. I definitely haven't checked it out. But I worked with Fly for a while. Great guys. I still stay in touch with some of the guys there. Just some friendships that we've acquired over the years. Dale Spangler, we worked with him when he was with Fastway, all the way through Fly, and just the longtime friends. I definitely stay in touch with those guys and all the other sponsors that we get friendships with, and I'm not working with those guys this year, but definitely still close with them. I haven't even got to wear the Thor gear yet, so I don't know. I guess the last thing I really did wear was the Fly, but I did put a Thor jersey on one day when I was running around making dirt bike noises. So, if that counts.
You just ruined my whole mental image because I was hoping that you just had like boots, chest protector, helmet, and like neck brace, and that'd be it.
Well,
maybe
like
some moto socks just to make it awkward. Like
I said, different days I do different things. Sometimes I'll come down and there'll be a pair of boots laying there, and that's all I'll have on. I'll be not even wearing boxers. Just running around the shop naked with a pair of riding boots on, like making dirt bike noises, jumping over the starting stand, being like, hitting that jump. And sometimes I'll throw a whip. Every once in a while I'll wad myself up, trip up on the boots, and I'll need that helmet. That's the first thing I go to. Always wear your helmet whenever you're making dirt bike noises.
You never know where it could take you.
Exactly, and you get this sweet echoing sound in the helmet, and it always sounds better. Like, if you make a dirt bike noise outside of the helmet, it's like, all right, that sounded pretty stupid. You make it in there, and it's like it echoes around. You're like, money shot.
Badassery is happening. I totally agree. I totally agree. Well, as we said earlier, we unfortunately did have quite a few technical issues, and we have kept you way past your movie bedtime, if you will. I know you want your snuggle time with Mr. Corey, and we're going to let you have had that. We can't thank you enough for one, taking the time out of your busy schedule of being an awesome dude, and two, waiting for us while we were working through some of the technical difficulties. You got to say that's awesome.
I made you wait first, so it's cool.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I was the douchebag first, and that's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Never. I could never say that about you guys. But you got to say, Seat Time, brought to you guys by Fly Racing and Power Sport Graphics. Awesome sponsors. Please go check them out. FlyRacing.com is where you can find Fly. Power Sport Graphics is at RidePG.com. Remember, 10% discount code if you want to go use it is Seat Time on the RidePG website. And you can find us on Facebook, Facebook.com/SeatTime. We're on Twitter, Twitter.com/SeatTime_CO. And I don't know, what else? Instagram, it's like Seat Time. You can find us all over the place. It is a fantastic place. YouTube, to search for Seat Time. So now that everybody knows where to find us, Steward Baylor Jr., where could people find you on the internets?
I think it's SL Baylor. Let's see. It's something like that. Oh, man, my phone died. Oh, it's turning back on. Oh, I turned it off. I forgot. I kept getting blown up. I've got a Facebook, Steward Baylor. I'm working on the website right now. It's going to be stewardbaylor.com. I've got the Off-Road Viking guys helping me out do that. So that should be up soon. Kind of helping promote the riding schools that I'm doing and definitely the racing side of things. I've got the Twitter account. Let's see if I can find it. I wish I knew the name. SL Baylor 5 and Instagram's SL Baylor 5 as well. So press that green button and give me a follow. I try to post stuff up. Lately it's been jet skis and bow fishing, but soon that's going to transform into deer hunting and dirt bikes. So,
it's going to transfer into no bones in the wrist and maybe a dirt bike.
I hope I get a sweet scar. I'm going to tell the guy to cut it the other way so I can get another cool scar, because this one's like 6 inches long from the last surgery because they took a bone out of my arm. But this time I want to cut them across the other way so I can look like one of those guys that cut their wrist. I'll have a nice sweet scar running that way too. So
you think
just some cool stuff.
You think Paul Wibley's is 6 inches now?
Well, actually, we were making jokes on that as we were riding a ski earlier. This kid said something about he knows his is only an inch or something like that, and Paul said, and then he started talking about his problems on the jet ski. Paul looked at him and says, I think you've got more problems than just figuring out how to ride the jet ski.
Yeah. If we're just working with an inch, shit, yeah. Not much you can do there. Well, on that note, remember, Thursday night's the interesting night if you want to turn in for more sexual news and less dirt bikes. Yay! Seat Time. Seriously, guys, we really appreciate all the time. Remember, we go live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m., seattime.co/live. Find us, follow us, do whatever, make fun of us. It's okay. We appreciate your time. Steward Baylor Jr. as well. We appreciate your time. Have fun out there, dude. Good luck on Thursday, and just remember to keep us updated on how it's going. We want to make sure you're doing all right, man.
All right, yeah, I posted my first Instagram video today. I'm definitely going to do that before and after surgery, so you'll get to see a sweet response after surgery. Last time I called people custom out, and I don't remember doing it, so you never know what we're going to see. I'll definitely be posting that stuff on Instagram, so just, if you want to do an interview, I think our surgery's at 12:07 on, hey, look, I can finally see you. How'd you do that? You're magical or something. Oh man, where's my jersey behind you?
Have you sent me one?
No, but you didn't ask.
Well, sometimes you just got to realize the Seat Time wall is here for a reason.
Well, I told you I had bad memory, so just text me tomorrow or the next day or something to remind me.
All right, we'll get one up there.
12:07 tomorrow. I go in for surgery. It'll probably be an hour and a half long. So maybe a short interview then. I might cuss you out. Might flash you. I might get naked and run around in front of the camera. You never know what's going to happen.
All good times. All of those are okay with me.
As long as I don't get in a fight with a nurse, which I almost did last time. They just wouldn't give me the right medicine. I was very upset. I was angry. I don't remember it, but apparently stuff like that was going on. But Yeah, hey, it is what it is.
I'm going to do my best to never get on your bad side. Always be your little friend, your little buddy, the cute guy that everybody likes and nobody wants to hate. How about that?
That works.
Yeah,
That
I
works.
think that's going to be in my benefit. Well, dude, remember, seat time, best time ever. Remember to always enjoy a pintful of awesome. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Steward Baylor Jr., we really appreciate your time.
All right, thanks. See you guys.
Peace. Y'all enjoy your
Hey, how do you
movie.
Hang this thing up.
Hey, just hit the button that's not the green one.
Got it. Got the red button. I had to teach somebody that the other day on the jet ski. Told you I'm slow, man. All
Bye,
right,
Corey.
see you guys.